Good Sunday afternoon. Hey, I just wanted to do a little quick video talking about service connection. Are you service connected yet? Well, my enlistment in the Marine Corps was January 22nd, 1986 to January 1990. I still have my Marine Corps boot camp book, series 3028 to 3030. I'm sorry, 3031. Um, But let me just tell you a quick story how I ended up in the Marine Corps. Uh, in my parents' house, it's either you're going to go to school or go to the military. I guess I had no intentions of being in the military, but I didn't have any plans, so I came home from school and I wasn't going back. So my mom didn't ask me anything. I came home one day, me and my friend was riding in the car, and we pulled up to my house, and I was like, "Isn't that one of them recruiter cars, the military recruiter car?" He was like, "Yep." He said, "Let's go see what they want." I was like, "No, let me go check it out, and I'll tell you about it later." So got out and went into the house, and my dad sitting in his lazy boy chair, mom in the kitchen cooking as always, and my dad goes, "Sign them papers." I'm like, "What papers?" And the recruiter there, Marine Corps. I'm like, I know I'm not going no Marines. Anyways, I don't have a choice. The next day, I'm at the Marine Corps office taking an ASVAB test. So from the time for me coming home from college to being shipped off to the Marine Corps boot camp was about 21 days. So I'm shell shocked. So the next thing you know, I'm in Paris Island. Once my MOS was field artillery. I went in with an open contract. Had no intentions on being in artillery. I thought I was going to be a cook, but that didn't happen. But I did my time. I did my 4 years and served proudly. And in that process of serving, I was injured. Had a surgery right before I was discharged out of the Marine Corps. In that same time period, I lost my hearing. I got it back now, but it's not the same. So 24 years later, after being out of the Marine Corps, I'm at the Miami VA hospital. I'm prepping for some type of surgery or something I got going on, and there's a guy in the lobby. He asked me, he said, "Hey, you receiving your benefits?" And I'm like, "What benefits? I don't get no benefits." And he said, I said, "Well, I got to go up, get this process started." And he said, "Well, before you leave, go up to the third or fourth floor, I don't remember the exact floor, and see this certain person, and they'll be able to help me," which I did. And in that process, I found out what service connected was. It was uh, uh, disability that was due to us, if you got injured and you had proof. You had to have proof, which it was in my service record. So I was service connected. I ended up getting awarded 20%. And that was April 22nd, 2014. A lot of time went by. And my mom told me, she said, "No people probably owe you some money." And I said, like, "What people?" She said, "The military." I said, "They don't owe me no money." She said, "Well, in fact, I told her, I said, you don't know nothing about no military. You wasn't even in the military." She said, "I don't know nothing about the military, but I know they owe you some money." And I never took it any further. I left it like that. 24 years went by. Was already, should have been service connected getting out of boot camp, because these injuries was already there and in the medical records. I didn't know to go file. But after that, getting awarded that 20%, I put in for an increase on my shoulder June 28th, 2016, and ended up getting another 10%. So now I'm sitting at 30%. Little did I know, I'm figuring that's the end of it. Okay, well, I got all I can get, because they told me that was the max I can get for because each body part has a max that you can get. So they said I was at the max for the shoulder. And another 4 years went by, and one of my friends I was talking to, he was also in the Marine Corps. We were talking about secondary conditions. I'm like, what is a secondary condition? He said, for every injury you have, there's probably something else wrong that is contributing to. And I was like, really? And so he showed me some of the things that how he became how he filed for secondary conditions. And I was like, okay, well, let me look into it. And I put in another claim. And when I put that claim in, I was awarded 80%. And that was in March 10th, 2020. 4 years from when I became 30%. Now, in that process, you know, every time that you put a claim in, it opens up your entire file where things don't always go your way, you know, because what happened to me was I put a claim, I tried to get to 100%, and when I put that claim in, I got reduced to 60%, and that was in August 2021. So at that point there, I ended up having to go and get an attorney because, for one, I couldn't get the paperwork right, and the paperwork kept coming back, and I'm just spending a lot of time on paperwork. So I finally had an attorney that took my case, and I went from there. So what happened was they got the 60% back to 80%, and then once I got to 80%, it was time for another shoulder surgery. I ended up having a total shoulder replacement. And then when you have a joint replacement and you're service connected, they give you 100% for 12 months. So it's a temporary 100%. And I was able to keep going because you have a shoulder surgery, you are down for a while. And in that process, at the same time, 2 months later, I had a foot surgery. But the foot surgery wasn't service connected. That just, I guess, wear and tear on the body. I don't know what happened there, but it wasn't service connected. I couldn't use that as a secondary. But I did have, the attorney did put in for another claim for 100%. And in 2022, 2023, I was awarded 100% permanent and total. Not only did I get the 80% back, I got to 100% permanent and total. And then, once you get to 100% permanent and total, that's a game changer. So for the old guys and girls, I don't care how long you've been out, you got to get your medical records. Once you have your hands on the medical records, you got to file, I can go through all that stuff and see if you're overlooking something, because I never put in for my knee. It was in the medical records that I injured the knee in boot camp. I forgot all about it. I had been out so long. So that was something that I could have filed. But once you get 100%, you're done filing. You're not going to file anything else because you just can't get any higher. But I just want people to know, get service connected, check your medical records, comb through them, go through it real good, make sure you're not missing anything. But back in the old days, in the 80s, you could hardly read the medical information that they wrote in there because we didn't have the computers, they didn't type in nothing in, they was handwriting everything, your entire medical records by pencil or pen. So it's really hard to read. And even with the knee, I couldn't tell if it said left knee or right knee, but I just knew it was one of the knees. So I didn't even use that. So, but the thing is, get your records, go through them, make sure that you're not forgetting anything. And there's a lot of videos on YouTube that can help you understand this stuff better, because attorneys can't take your case on at the beginning. It got to be after you've been denied and stuff like that. So there's a little tricks to it, but there's enough videos on YouTube to help you out. I'm not an expert on it, but I watch enough YouTube videos to get what the knowledge that I needed. and go from there. But hopefully I can help somebody out with this. And hey, get out there, get this service connection you deserve. You were injured in the military, active duty. Hey, they owe you. They do owe you compensation. If you were injured and you didn't have the injury before you got there, so get out there and give it a shot. Reopen stuff. It's never too late. All right, that's all I got for you. Thank you.